What's up everyone, it's Q from Retro Q Gaming, and this video makes me very excited. So the reason for that is I turned on Steam this morning and I was looking through the pop-up that shows you all the latest games and news and offers and all that. And for some reason, right, we know Tales of Zestiria has been on Steam for pre-order for, I don't know, a couple of weeks now, maybe even longer. But the fact that it came up on the what would you call it, news update thing when you log in, had me a little bit curious. So I clicked into it, started scrolling down, and then it hit me of what was changed and why I have to make this video. So they've added a bunch of pre-order incentives, if you will. And I'm just going to read them off real quick. I'm not going to go into too much detail on them. But when I get to the last one, you will understand why I had to make this video. And I'll talk a bit more about that. So first off, as of recording this, the actual reward progress to the first tier is 3%. So there's practically no one on it at all. Now, onto the actual rewards and all that. First up, you get if you buy just a base game with no rewards filled, you get the Tales of previous weapon pack, or retro weapon pack, whatever you want. It's basically a few different weapons from previous Tales games that people will recognize if they've played said games, and they have the look and appearance of those old ones. Now, if you get reward tier 1, you obviously get the base weapon pack, or the retro weapon pack, and you get a set of 4 male character costume skins from previous Tales of games for some of the male characters in the new one, Tales of Zestiria. Now, if you get the second tier reward, you obviously get the base reward, the tier 1 reward, and you get the tier 2 reward, which is a female costume pack. So you get 4 costumes based on previous Tales of characters, 4 female characters, well, 4 female, yeah, that makes sense, for female characters in Tales of Zestiria. Now, here's the last one. This is the top tier 3 reward, and this is the reason why I had to make this video, because this blindsided me out of nowhere. You get a full free copy of Tales of Symphonia HD on Steam. That's brilliant. That's just brilliant. That's all I can say. Now, there's multiple positives over that. There's one negative which I'll get to at the end, but there's multiple positives over it. One, the Tales of series is just a fantastic series, and we're starting to see them actually show up on Steam now. First off, there was Tales of Zestiria, which had been announced for later this year, and now we have Tales of Symphonia showing up on here as well. Now, Tales of Symphonia is regarded as possibly the best Tales of game. Personally, I absolutely love it. I can't pick which is my favorite or which is my best, simply because the Tales of series is just, it's so high quality. Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Graces, Tales of Zillia, Tales of Vesperia, Tales of Tales of the Abyss, Tales of Hearts. There's so many of them, and they're all such great games, and they're all brilliant in their own right, that it's nearly impossible for me to actually sit down and think about it and pick which one is my favorite. So the fact that such a high quality game series and high quality games are finally starting to come to PC is a brilliant win for PC users. I know many people who would want to play Tales of Symphonia back in the day, but they didn't have a GameCube, or they didn't have a Wii, and they didn't want to buy them just for one game. Now, yes, not all, but most of those people finally did get a chance to play it when it was released in the collection of the Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World, when it was released in the Chronicles collection on PS3. I think it was last year maybe, but a lot of them did get a chance to play it. But I do still know some people, and I'm sure there's even more out there, that still haven't got a chance to play these games, and now they will have a chance to do that. Now, I'll continue on. So the fact that, yes, a great series is starting to come to PC, brilliant. And this goes with a lot of the stuff I've been saying over the last few months as well, and what I've noticed. Developers and publishers are finally starting to give some good JRPG love to PC users, because it's something we've been pretty much starved for. Not completely, but we've been hurting on it bad for years, for JRPG support on PCs. We've been hurting on it good bit for a while now, and it's slow. I'm not going to deny that it's slow, but it is progress. We're getting games like, okay, these two first ones are terrible ports and shoddy ports, if you will. You've got Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13 2, and eventually they've promised Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13 3. So yeah, okay, the first two of those that are out are fairly poor ports, but it's still promising that stuff is happening. We've got all sorts of other games. We've got Valkyria Chronicles, not exactly a straight RPG, but it's just a fantastic game. And because it's coming from Sega, it's a very typically Japanese styled game, and now it finally hit PC. There's a couple of others that escape me off the top of my mind that I remember talking about recently, but the fact is that again, with Tales of Zestiria and now Tales of Symphonia, we're getting even more love, slowly but surely, but it's great that these games are coming anyway. Also, one thing that I will note is that the Tales of Symphonia that we're getting with Tales of Zestiria, if we do hit those rewards and you pre-order the game, or pre-purchase the game, it is the HD PS3 version from like a year or two ago. Now, I've personally, as you can see in the footage here, it does look pretty decent, and it actually runs at 60 FPS. That's an important thing to note. And this is on the PS3, and it still runs at 60 FPS. So it's still the art style about these games really shines with their HD ports and their HD remasters, if you will. So that's always a great point at the same time. Now, I've pretty much covered all the positives. I will touch on the one negative that I'll unfortunately have to mention. Otherwise, I don't think I've done the video justice. To get Tales of actually, there's one other part I need to mention. I did some digging after I saw this because I had never seen a previous announcement for Tales of Symphonia on PC. So once I saw it on the Steam page, I did a little bit of digging, and sure enough, as of this morning, Namco Bandai have announced Tales of Symphonia HD for a digital-only PC release next year at some point. Okay, fair enough. Now, this brings me back to the negative of the situation. Is because the actual release of the standalone game is at some point next year, the only way to get this game this year, or within... Okay, fair. I mean, Tales of Zestiria is out at the end of this year, so Tales of Symphonia will likely come with it at the time. But to get it this year, or to get it without waiting until a vague point next year, you have to... It is basically a pre-order incentive. Now, I'm not really too happy about that, because not only is it a pre-order incentive, but it's a pre-order incentive of the highest tier. So, a significant amount of people have to pre-order it to unlock this for everyone. So, it's a balance thing, and given how poor and shoddy so many PC ports and from various developers and publishers have been over the last... It's really become a lot more common and higher profile over the last 5 years, so I'm just going to say 5 years. But just because of that, I really want to say adopt a wait-and-see policy. The problem with this is a lot of people who are going to buy Tales of Zestiria already have their mind made up. Now, I personally am buying it on PS4. Most likely, I'm definitely buying it day one. There's no question about that. But it's most likely going to be PS4 for me. Now, the people who want to buy this game on PC will pretty much not be dissuaded by that kind of thing. For the most part, I don't really blame them. But again, it's, people are going to buy this game day one. I'm sure some people have now been swayed to buy it because of this tier 3 reward. Maybe they've been swayed to buy it as like, oh, I might get it down the line when it's cheaper, or maybe they were going to buy it on a different platform, but now they're going to pre-order it on PC just to get Tales of Symphonia without having to pay for it separately next year at some point. So there are positives and negatives for it. I just for if I will cover my own back style. I can't really recommend pre-purchasing it just to do this. However, if you want, I do think you're still getting some quality out of it. Tales of Zestiria is probably going to be brilliant. Tales of Symphonia is a brilliant game, so I think it's kind of going to be a win-win for the most part. However, if the game, either of the two games launch broken, I don't really want to say I told you so, but it's more of a I can't even get words out just because I like I said, I told you so isn't something I wanted to say, and I can't really think of a different way to word it, because it hurts everyone in the long run. It hurts the people who bought it, it hurts the people who will eventually buy it or were thinking of buying it, and it hurts the image of the companies and people releasing games anyway. So that's a big unfortunate. It isn't, again, I'll say it one more time, it's great to see such a great game series, and just publishers showing off love for the PC community in this genre completely. That's all positive. I mean, more great games coming to PC. Who can argue with that? Other than maybe console fanboys, but they're irrational anyway, so fuck them. But actual people who will play and enjoy these games, finally getting them on PC, that's brilliant. That's a win. I can't fault that at all. So for the most part, this is a whole positive experience. There is the little one caveat, if you will, which I went over, but that's your own kind of, you know, prerogative if the pros outweigh the cons for you. So we'll see how it goes anyway. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Tales of series, what you think of them actually coming to PC, and his basic surprise announcement of Tales of Symphonia HD as a pre-order reward, and the fact that it's getting released on PC digitally next year at some point. So let me know all that in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, details in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the rest of the videos in my channel.